Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. If you're returning, thank you so much. I'm so glad each and every one of you are here. This is Lainey and I'm coming back with another video. And this time I want to talk about 6 things that I think we all can do before the new year starts. We only have like a few more days before we hit 2019. So I was thinking about things that I can do to try to make 2019 a better year than 2018 was. And I wanted to share what I came up with. Even if 2018 was a great year for you, there's always room for improvement. So I wanted to share this, and maybe you can share with a friend as well. And let's just make 2019 the best year that we possibly can. So before we go any further, if you haven't already subscribed, please go ahead and do so. It's free, you guys. It's free. And also make sure you hit that notification bell so you won't miss out on future videos. And if you like what you see so far, make sure you give my video a big thumbs up. It will be greatly appreciated. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. And this is in no particular order. I'm just kind of reading off my list as I go. And you may see me looking down, and that's because I have my list here, and because I go off on a tangent and I want to stay on track and stay on point, so I have a list here so I can do that. So the first thing is to forgive and seek forgiveness. That is a hard one for a lot of people, especially if you felt like you've been done wrong by someone and the person may not even be remorseful, and that can make it even harder to forgive. But forgiving is more for you than the other person. I read a quote not too long ago, and I can't remember exactly who it was by, but it was saying something to the effect of not forgiving or holding on to a grudge is like drinking poison and waiting for the other person to die. Forgive for yourself. Forgive for yourself. And also, you can't seek forgiveness if you aren't willing to forgive. If you've wronged someone in some way, shape, or form, it's always a good idea to, pray and ask God to forgive you for whatever you did. But also, it's a time where you have to go to that person personally or via email or text or whatever, if you can't see that person face to face. But go to that person and say, I did whatever I did to you, and I apologize. Get that off of you, because a lot of times when we done something to someone and we hold on to that too internally, and it messes us up because we have like a guilty conscience and we can't let it go because we haven't really fully released that. So pray to God and ask him for forgiveness, but also, if you can, go to that person and seek their forgiveness as well. Based off what you did, the person may not forgive you for whatever you did, but it's still good to get that off of your chest and to get that off of your conscience and say, I made an effort to make it right, and to make it right with God, and not only make it right with God, but make it right with that person that I hurt or that I offended. So the next one is to set goals. A lot of people, especially like on social media, they tease people for making like the New Year's resolutions and all that stuff, vision boards, and I personally love that stuff. Me and my family make goals every single year. I think for the past, I want to say 5 or 6 years. So we sit down together as a family and we have a big old board and we write down individual goals, and then we also write family goals. This has helped a lot with productivity and staying focused on what really matters. One piece of advice that I would give you about setting goals is to set them high, but also be realistic. A lot of people get burned out with their goals early on, and then we don't complete the tasks that we set. Make your goals. Don't let anyone tell you that making goals is pointless. Making goals is only pointless if you don't try to achieve them. Even a little bit of progress is still progress. So if you set a goal to lose, 15 pounds, and by June you only lost 5, it's still progress. Don't beat yourself up. Like, you're still making progress. You're still making those steps toward what you want. There's several things on my board that I did not accomplish, but in 2019, I'm going to try even harder to knock those goals out. And that takes me to number 3, which is to revisit the goals that you set before. I said earlier, there's goals that I did not get to achieve. So my plan is to revisit those goals, see why I did not reach them. Like, what happened in this year that caused me to not be able to reach that goal, and that will help me like kind of refocus myself. Maybe I spent too much time doing this, or spent too much time doing that, and that left me no room to be able to accomplish this particular goal. And don't be afraid about modifying goals either. Like I said, we can set goals really, really high. So if I have a goal of reading 10 books and, you know, later on in the year, I'm like, okay, 10 books was a little, you know, a little too much for me, then I can modify that and say, hey, let me bump it down to 7. So it's still, you know, a big goal to achieve, but it's more doable. It's more realistic for what I have going on. Make those goals, revisit those goals, and modify if need be. So number 4 is to declutter. So my family and I just moved a couple months ago, and we still have boxes of things that we need to unpack. And so declutter is like a personal thing that I know that I need to do. Have stuff that you're not using, just give them away. Or if you don't want to give them away, if you're not that giving, you can sell them. Have a yard sale or sell them online or something like that. That you're not using, stuff that you know that you're not going to need, just get it out of the way. Like, don't bring all that junk into 2019, and it's going to create even more clutter because you're going to acquire more things, and it's just going to stack on top of each other, and you're going to become a baby hoarder. And I don't want to see you on TLC because you can't see your floor. Get rid of all that stuff that you're not using. My children have lots of toys, and that stuff that's still in the box that hasn't been used, we're giving them away to other kids. Clothes that they can't fit, we're giving them away. Clothes that I know that I'm not going to wear anymore, shoes, giving them away. It makes me feel good too, being that I'm able to give away things and not only to declutter, but to bless other people. So it's kind of like a 2-in-1 kind of thing for me. Number 5 is to get rid of toxic relationships. Anything that causes you more pain than anything, that you don't need that in your life. If it is toxic to you physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, financially, whatever it is, get rid of it. Let it go. Let it go. And a lot of times we want to hold on to these relationships because you know, we've known the person for many years, or whatever we're telling ourselves to cling on to these people or to these things. Sometimes, you know, we have to put ourselves first. We have to put our well-being first. And if it causes you more pain than peace, then it may be time to let that go and leave it alone. The more you're around toxic people, toxic things, toxic situations, toxic jobs, whatever it is, you ingest that stuff, and it becomes a part of you. If you're a person that's normally not negative, but you're around somebody that's constantly negative and constantly everything is so bad and everything is sucks, that stuff starts to come out of you because you're ingesting it. It's going into you. You hear it all the time. You start to mimic the same things. So if it's toxic, if it means you no good, leave it in 2018. And the last thing is to anticipate with gladness. Don't go into 2019 doom and gloom and thinking, oh, it's going to be the same as the year before that and the year before that. Yeah, if you think that, then yes, that's what it's going to be. But anticipate with gladness. Speak things that are not as though they were. Speak positivity, speak miracles, speak blessing, speak freedom of things that are holding you back, and anticipate that it's going to happen. Believe that it's going to happen. Do the work and God will do the rest. He'll do the heavy lifting. We just got to step out there. So I pray for whoever sees this video that your 2019 will be your best year yet. I love y'all, and I thank you so much for watching. I will see y'all on the next one. Bye.